right, I think we are live. Just going to post this, Ivan, and then we'll get started. We are live with Ivan and Phantom for Hive Mind episode 8, talking geopolitics and more. Tune in. All right, I think we are good. I will check to make sure that we're live. I think we are, and then we'll
Good,
get started. So Ivan,
good.
it's been a while. What's new? What have you been trading? Anything special?
Yeah, good to be back. True, yeah, it's been a while. I had sort of a hiatus, just some non-prediction market things to attend to. That's why I haven't honestly been trading much, except for Kevin Warsh, and yeah, we're still all Iran, obviously. That's the big one.
I thought I don't know why I thought it was over, but maybe just for a little sliver of a moment, I thought we had nothing would ever happen. But it seems like we're back into the full swing of things, and every night at 5 p.m. Eastern, we're getting ready for a strike, you know?
I guess things will happen. I'm probably on the wrong side, as so many times in the Middle East. But yeah, looks like something will happen. But then again, in the Middle East, you never know. It
Yep.
doesn't. It never happens until it happens, right?
Exactly. Well, so yeah, today we'll talk about Iran strike, the Khamenei out, regime fall. I think the bonds for Khamenei not leaving are still safe. If is that still a solid take? Okay, we'll get into that too. Then aliens, which doubled in price yesterday, and I'm starting to think about rules there. Maybe the rules are the reason that there's actually a chance that it resolves yes. And then Fed chair, where I don't know how you have any cash left. I don't have much cash left to trade because everything's in Judy, Shelton, and Kevin Warsh. So we should just spend an hour talking about why why we don't have cash there. And then Polymarket, which has an update on how you can sponsor your rewards. And I don't know if you were part of the gold rush the other day, but $70,000 in rewards was put up on the Jesus market, which they ended up paying it out, but it was a crazy 24 hours a couple days ago.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I saw it. I was on a flight that day, but yeah, I saw it. So maybe you can, like, I saw what happened. Maybe you can fill me in, like, how much you made and how people could make money there. But yeah, I
Yeah.
saw it's in the news. Yeah, looks good. Some good developments. We can talk about that.
Okay, so let's start with Iran though, and we are monitoring the situation as every day. So, what is going on in Iran, and how can we make some money on this, and how have we been losing money so far?
Probably the best way to make money is to do the opposite of to do what I say, and then you do the opposite of what I actually trade. Because actually, so my post this fiasco in January, I think I put it out a tweet saying that I think structurally is going to happen, right? He will get into some entanglement with Iran. And then for a while it was kind of quiet, and they sent some destroyers there and some battleships, but it was quiet. And then they started these negotiations, which were always supposed to start. And I've been saying on the discords, I've been saying, like, I think this is the dip you want to buy on yes on war. And I bought it a little bit, and then it dipped a little bit more than I thought, but it was okay. And then on the way up, I started selling. But then, like, the last 5 days or so, right, it was this massive rush of just assets pouring into the theater,
Yeah.
and the odds are just going crazy. And yeah, now I am kind of out of yes, but I have a ton of no, too much no. I have some. I mean, the entries look good now, right? So they could go to zero. They could go to positive at least. So most of my entries are kind of yeah. It's not that good. It's not like the 39%, but it's about like where we are now. I have some entries on no for end of February. Yeah, mostly like next week, some March 15th, and then I have a bad entry on like end of March, which that's already kind of
So,
dubious.
what has changed? I'll find some of the tweets, but is it mostly this movement, just a lot of preparations?
I mean, what's changed? Like, if you look at how it's been trading, if you maybe like pull up the March, I think like the March 15th or the March 31st markets, they are like the
Mhm.
most instructive. Or maybe also the June one. Like not that much has changed in the last 7 days. What has changed is like they're pouring in a lot of assets now, and all the OSINT accounts are going crazy about it.
Yeah,
And it's definitely more. I mean, it's at a faster rate than before,
yeah,
but that's not really much of a surprise. So either the odds were wrong before, or the odds are wrong now. Like they can't both be right, because
yeah,
there was, if you under the premise that this was always going to happen, which in my opinion it was, because that's how they are negotiating, right? Always under pressure. Mm, so yeah, well, were the odds wrong before, or are they wrong now? I guess maybe a bit of both. Although are they wrong now? It's maybe a little bit of wish casting. I'm not so sure if they're wrong now.
well,
It looks
so
kind of odd. Yeah.
I mean, December 31st, okay, that only just came out now, and it was February 17th
Yeah,
was
like
60%.
June one.
But
June one is like
June, I mean, it was 50-50. Okay, so it was
it
50-50
was
last
50
week.
50 a week ago. Yeah.
It had to, if you're saying it was wrong at one point, then I guess it would have been wrong here, right? Because if it
Yeah,
was
that's
always
why.
going to happen, then this should
Yeah,
have.
yeah. I had sub 50 entries. I had a quite good entry. It was not like I didn't have a lot on it, but it was like 15, 20,000 shares. It was decent.
Mhm,
And then I sold it on the way. I sold it into the negotiations, which I thought would go a little bit better or would be presented a little bit better, but that's not what it sounds like. I mean, what I'm understanding is Iran is kind of focused on the deal. They want to make a deal on their terms, but they want to make a deal. But Trump or the Americans, they are not. They don't really want to make a deal. It doesn't
mhm,
sound like it. They don't really want to or know how to negotiate, in my opinion.
mhm,
Because if they want to, if they want the off ramp, I think it's there. But it's a little bit doubtful whether they want to, because the Iran, what Iran wants is they want to talk only about nuclear, and very like restricted, and then ideally with sanctions relief. Which I doubt they can get this at this point. But what the Americans want is like is Israel's position. They want to talk about, apparently talk about everything. So they want to talk about nuclear, although that's not what Trump says, but that's what I've been reading about the last negotiations. So they want to talk nuclear, and they want to talk about the missiles, which for Iran is in the red line. They definitely won't give up those, and they want to talk about the proxies, and maybe also about the protesters, because that's actually that was the initial idea why Trump wants to get into this in the first place. And you can't make a deal. I mean, they probably can't even make a deal about nuclear, but they definitely cannot make a deal. If you talk about, if imagine, like you and your very difficult, well, it's not an ex, they were never really together, but you and a girl that you don't really like, and now you're supposed to like to talk it out, but you're not even in the same room. First of all, you don't speak the same language. Second of all, you're not in the same room. You speak via a mediator, and then you speak about four different things. But she actually wants to talk only about one, but you want to talk about these four things that bother you. And you're telling her, like, I'm going to come home and trash your entire place if you don't listen to me. How is this supposed to work? I mean, that's why I think structurally it can't work. And that's why I've been saying, well, I've been saying, not so much trading, but I've been saying, I think yes is the better side. But I'm
mhm,
tactically now on no. Why? Because I'm thinking, but maybe also just more hoping, that they will try to negotiate a little bit more. So they're getting some pushback from the media. They're like on Fox and Friends. They're not really sold on this. This is not so popular. It's not like there's no real quick win to be had here. They can
mhm,
try to kill the Ayatollah. This is probably the only real quick win they could try to get. And this is why I'm thinking, if they do it, they should do it big. They shouldn't do like a small strike. They should go big.
mhm.
But apart from
Well,
that, what is the exit strategy?
yeah, that's what I
So
was gonna
they,
say. What is the end game? What is the
yeah,
end game
exactly.
for?
One seems to have a plan, and that's why I'm thinking. Even though all the assets are there, and it absolutely could happen. Maybe not in the next few days. I don't expect that, but like into next weekend, like yeah, it definitely could happen. Because that's the deadline he said, and I think the deadline is kind of real. unlike the usual 2-week deadlines he sets. But I also think that if they want to try to negotiate a little bit more, if they want to build this up a bit more domestically, then it makes sense to, like try to negotiate a little bit more. The question is, do they want to or not? Because Iran wants to, Iran wants to stall for time. They know, like you have all these weapons on the table and you're
Yeah.
sitting there. Well, the girlfriend is in the other room, but you sit there with the mediator. All your guns are on the table. Obviously, you're going to use them. The mediator
Yeah.
goes over and tells her, look, like he has all these weapons on the table, but maybe you can make a deal. Well, can you really?
Yeah.
No.
Man, so killing the Ayatollah. So that market, we can talk about this market because I'm interested in it. Because there's a rules mismatch between Polymarket and Kalshi. And for here with Polymarket, if we pull it up, um, if he dies, which is, I guess, the most likely event, it resolves to yes. But
Mhm.
for Kalshi, if he dies, it resolves to the last traded price before his death. Now,
Yeah.
that is a little bit of like it's better for holding no, but I don't know how much better because if there's a big strike, the price will naturally go up already to the 70s, 80s, and 90s, and then it'll resolve. The no will get back maybe 10 cents. So it's not
Yeah.
much of an advantage as much as I would have thought. But it is, yeah. So if he leaves solely because he died, the associated market will resolve and the exchange will determine payouts based on the last traded price prior to death.
Mm.
So it's not just the entire strike; it is the event of his death that will be the resolution price. But for Khomeini out, now despite this, you have these markets trading at lower prices than Polymarket. So Kalshi here is at 60% for June 30th, July, and Polymarket for June 30th is 63 for no. So
Yeah.
already I'm not understanding why the price is flipped, where usually you would probably see Kalshi at a higher price because of this rules mismatch. But I'm curious, just in general, the event itself, is this Trump's most likely win?
If I'm not saying is a most likely win. I personally think this is the most actionable deliverable you can
Mm-hmm.
take.
Mm-hmm.
And if you really like, well, what are they trying to do? They like that's why I'm saying, in my opinion, they don't really know how to negotiate. They know how to. They have these like mafia methods, like they can just shake someone down. But if someone really pushes back, or just doesn't fall into their frame, like Russia doesn't do that, China doesn't do it, so they can't really push them around so much. And that's why they back off, or they try to lean on the weaker party, like Ukraine, for example. Europe falls into their frame, except for Greenland, and that's where he. I mean, it was very, it's kind of crazy to try to annex Greenland. We might still do it, but that's where the first time Europe sort of tried to push back, and then he tackled a little bit from this, admittedly very crazy idea.
Mm-hmm.
So for Iran, what are the real deliverables? Like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, you can like last time they said, oh, they obliterated the nuclear thing, but apparently they didn't, because now he wants to go back and destroy some more. Or the missiles. This is, it's a deliverable, but they can build it back. Also, this is more Israel's problem. It's not America's problem. That's why I'm saying this is Bibi's agenda, not his. If you actually want to make a deal, but you're saying, okay, these people, they're fundamentalists, which is true. They cannot be reasoned with, which is true. They are not honest, which is true. Then you need to flip the negotiation dynamic, right? You need to, in my opinion, you need to do something which will kind of really flip over the table. But you don't do that by just banging on the table. You actually need to flip it over. You just shoot the other guy in the head and say, okay, bring me the next guy. Bring me another negotiator. So that's why, in my opinion, it would make sense. I'm not saying, it will happen. I don't think this is necessarily value now to bet on, yes, but
For
I
Khomeini
mean,
outs, yeah.
yeah. But if I were him, like, and he's been saying this, right? He's been saying, like, regime change is the best thing that could happen. I think he personally dislikes and actually like hates Khomeini for like
Yeah.
trying to kill him. Khomeini has also clowned him like Maduro did. So there are, like these personal issues, like this personal feud between the two, which, in my opinion, if they have the actual intel, if they can get to him, I think it's an option. I'm not saying they will do it, but I think it's an option. So do you want to bet on it? I mean, no, but yeah, if you want to take it as a hedge, again, I don't at the moment I don't have hedges. At the moment, I hope there is some sort of headline volatility crash, and I get in on some no for some sorry for some yes for June. This is what I want to do.
Okay.
And the other day there actually
Sorry,
was one.
Yes June Khomeini or yes June strike?
Oh yes, June for the strike because
Yeah.
I think maybe they can stall it for another few weeks. Maybe if they meet again, there's also like this meeting market. If you can pull it up, I think the last price I saw was in the 70s. If they meet again, so like try it, Iran. Yeah, exactly.
Diplomatic
Yeah.
meeting?
Okay. Yeah. So it already dipped, right? Because it's like super illiquid.
Hmm.
Yeah. Because I looked at it, it was in the 70s. Now it's like 60.
Yeah.
If
Interesting.
they meet again, I think they meet again. What, like beginning of March, and then each meeting will be like 50-50 if it happens or not. So maybe Iran can stall for another month at best, which brings us close to the end of March. But at some point, it will just become obvious. At some point, they will have this domestic case, and maybe that's also why he's floating this, in my opinion, very stupid idea of trying to do a limited strike. I think this is a really dumb idea. But maybe they want to do like this limited strike, and then they sort of hope Iran actually really retaliates hard, and then they have this case. Then they can say like, look, they killed they hit our bases. Let's go hard after them. In my opinion,
Yeah.
is a dumb idea, but maybe they do it like that. I don't know. So yeah. Anyway, TLDR is I have some tactical no, but actually I think I admire this guy. You can pull him up. I admire the chat. This absolute stud who is on no on all time frames, and he has like 5 million.
Anoan? Are we talking about
Yeah, he has
Anoan? Yeah,
five
yeah,
mil
he's the
against the
goat.
strike.
He was up,
What a
yeah, he was up 2 million, and then he started off of some really like sharp trades. Whether I think it might have been some war stuff and other things, U.S. strikes, government
yeah,
shut
man.
down, yeah. But then he is just completely loaded up now on all of these
He is
strike
5
markets.
million, five
Yeah,
million long on piece on absolutely everything. Like no on every single thing. I don't know what his end game is. Like I think we talked about it on the Discord, right? He's some sharp guy. He's not just some gambler. But man, his tactics look like a lot like gambling, right? He just doubles down only, and he just goes long and long and long on piece. I
yeah.
wonder what his end. I want to see him win. I also have the same position, so I want to see
We
him
all
win.
want to
But man,
see him win. We all do.
it's
Oh, brother.
crazy.
Okay, so this and then regime fall. Is there anything there? So that's, I
Yeah.
think, the second lowest. The lowest is Khomeini to leave Iran. Oh, and I was going to ask. So other than death, I remember in our Discord we were talking about how the Iranian are stubborn people, how they won't go down and just let it go, and Khomeini leaves and just resigns. So
Yeah.
is the only outcome here that there is a strike and Khomeini is out if this all happens?
Yeah, man. There is no. I saw it again like yesterday or so. I didn't like it or bookmark it, but some tweet again on X about like thinking that these guys will flee like Assad did. This is a fundamental misunderstanding of how they work. I mean, again, I can just repeat what I said. That he's been there for 45 years. I mean, he's been there for 45 years, but he hasn't left the country in 35 years.
Mhm.
Thinking that he will go to Moscow, where they have record snowfall, like the worst winter since the Second World War or something. And now he's going to go to Moscow because like this guy who, in his opinion, is like a disbeliever or a kufar or whatever you call him. He wants to kill him, and he would probably love to die a martyr's death. That's probably his end game. To be fair, like
Yeah,
he knows he can't beat the great Satan, but he can die an honorable death. Um, so yeah, he's not leaving. So
yeah,
this, the market. If you talk about the market, like is Khamenei going to leave Iran or something? That this is like sub 1%.
yeah. What are those strikes? I guess so. 20.
There's
Wow.
the March, yeah, and there's the December. I mean, yeah, it's like it's completely liquid. Like the March one is okay. Eight, yeah, I guess the March, like what's going to happen? This or Kevin Walsh gets nominated. Pick your better bond. Kevin Walsh has more liquidity, and it might get a better price too. But they are
We yeah.
equally, I guess. Like it would be interesting to see, like which one is actually more probable. I guess equal
Mhm,
both,
mhm.
99.
Wow. Well, I guess Warsh is at 94, but we still don't even know when those markets are going to resolve. But before we leave
Yeah.
Iran, I do want to give a shout out to Stand, which is our stream sponsor, and they have a lot of features. And one of them that I'm going to talk about now is this Octobox. I talk about it every week, but I mean the way that so 4 o'clock, 5 p.m. today, when US looks like it's going to strike, the moment the markets close, this is where you have to be, right? Looking at every date, so 20th, 25th, you could get even the other ones too, but I have the 20th, 25th, 27th, 28th, March 1st, March 2nd, June 30, all of these different strikes, all for yes, getting ready to click on all of these shares. The moment I see an OSINT tweet, I'm obviously going to be late because I'm not in the secret Telegram channels of Israel and Iran. And my only alpha comes when I'm tagged in TMB and someone says, oh, this happened maybe 20 minutes ago, but I am ready, and this is because of Stan that I can do this, right? So having this Octobox and getting it ready, no fees, no nothing. It's amazing. They have other features too this week, where they launched version two of what was it? Version two of batch orders, which is basically you can put multiple orders at a single price. Um, they have tweets for that as well that I can show. Uh, Pegged orders, stop loss, everything is new here. Yeah, so take profit and stop loss is a great idea in terms of when you know that Khomeini's gonna get he's gonna be out soon, then you need to get ready for that. And then also these batched orders. Where can I find batch orders? Wow, he posts these college basketball picks that I'm pretty sure always lose, but I haven't followed them too much. But yeah, so these batch orders, version two, where all of these different strikes, you can get ready to put all of your orders in, betting on nothing ever happens.
Yeah.
So when you're looking for these entries, this is Stand is where you have to go for all of this. And on top of counter trading with no fees, batch orders, pegged orders to farm rewards, the Octobox. I mean, Stand is my favorite terminal, and it's what I use when I use a terminal. Because Polymarket UI still struggling. Kalshi UI struggles very often. So at least using a trading terminal is where you have to go. And this is what I use. So thank you, Stan, for sponsoring, and I'm excited for 4 o'clock today when this Octobox is going to be put in use, right?
Oh yeah, either today or tomorrow. Yeah, late US time when I'm in bed, and then hopefully I don't wake up to something on Sunday.
Well, that's what happened to me last year when Israel struck Iran and I'm asleep at 2 a.m. because I was in Europe. I wake up and Decap texts me. He says, don't he says I'm sorry, and I'm like, oh no, what happened? He's like, don't look at your computer because I'm in bed at 2 a.m. And I'm like, okay, well, now that you said that, I definitely have to go downstairs and check my computer. I look, everything's zero, minus $70,000 off of a 2 a.m. strike. Obviously I should have foreseen that, but that was a big mistake.
Yeah, I guess so. Why, like, one more reason why I'm tactically short is because all of these dates, right? So there's like Olympics closing ceremony on Sunday. Trump's a boomer, right? So he likes these things. And there's State of the Union.
Mhm.
Do you want to, talk about this, or you probably don't want to talk about it, so you don't want to mention it.
Yep.
And there's these two wolves inside of Trump. On the one hand, I think he hates Khamenei and wants to take him out. On the other hand, he hates these foreign entanglements. So we'll see. I mean, we'll
Yep.
see. I hope next week we're still talking about it, because
Yep.
otherwise, if it already happened, and I'm not into it big, but yeah.
One less thing to talk about in prediction markets. We had such a busy January that February has felt a little bit slow, but at least it's coming back a bit. And I guess the next topic is not even doesn't even deserve airtime, but we have to give it because Warsh has reached a new low since
Yeah.
his announcement of a preparation to nominate, we'll call it, because he hasn't really been nominated, right? A month ago, he was 99.7, and I'm pretty sure there were some 99.9 buys. And
Uh,
as of today, I'm pretty sure it's a new low for Warsh specifically of 94.0 cents just an hour ago, 93.8 an hour and a half ago. And Judy Shelton, not at a new high, but she is up to 4 cents. And I don't know, man. What are we doing here? Any cash left? Do we go to get a loan
no,
out?
I don't. Yeah, I can't because then I have to onboard from fiat into crypto, and that will give me into hell with
Uh-oh, the
with
regulators.
tax people. Yeah, yeah. So I can't. I'm already like basically full ported. Yeah. What can I say, man? It's someone asked on one of the traders I know. He asked on one of these political shows when when he's going to get nominated. So he asked Sean Spicer, if you know him. He was Trump's former press secretary. So like basically how long it's going to take. And Sean Spicer said, yeah, it could take. I mean, that's completely normal. It could take a while because he has all. They have to do a background check. He has all these assets and all that money that maybe not he's holding, but his wife, because they are like his wife is like the daughter of some big donor, right? So they are all these, it's all a family business.
Yeah.
So it's basically because of that. It's not because like Trump, changed his mind or because he's in the Epstein files. If anything, if he's in the Epstein files, there's a plus, right? So it's a bond. How long? It actually makes no sense that it's going down. I saw even some whales selling. I sold pretty much nothing, but I also have nothing to add, and I guess many people have nothing to add at this point.
I mean, we've exhausted every possible avenue that this could go down, and there just doesn't make sense. It never
Yeah, so
has, it never will. And I
it's
mean,
this
yeah,
and the Khamenei to flea market. These are the best bonds in my opinion right now. Only with the Khamenei to flea market, it's going to expire in 6 weeks or something. With Warsh, we don't know. Could be earlier, could be longer. I hope it's not longer. I think Domer said it should happen next week. I don't know why he thinks that. I'm not saying he's wrong. I just don't know why he thinks that.
for
Um,
Warsh,
yeah.
yeah.
I
I
mean, I
mean,
hope
so
it happens. But then again, then I have more money to bet on Iran. Maybe that's not a good thing. So maybe
this
it's
is
better.
one of yeah, this is one of the Twitter accounts which I don't follow them. Maybe I will. I don't know if they deserve it, but they're Judy Shelton Stan account or a Kevin Warsh Bear account, and they have been posting for the last couple of days and week. I think they did a Twitter space together, or
Mm.
maybe they canceled it right before they were supposed to do it. Because I know Predem Trader, who was on the show last week, he was trying to get a hold of some of these people so that he could interview them. But basically, this is a guy who has a take that there is no way Warsh gets nominated because it's taken too long. Judy Shelton is a zero interest rate supporter. And all of these stuff mean that Trump is going to end up nominated. Julius Rose Capital has acquired additional Judy Shelton nominations. Thank you for your attention.
He
Oh
sounds a
my
lot like
goodness.
you remember Satoshi?
Yes, Satoshi Encap is one.
Yeah, it sounds a lot like him.
Kickstand, which was the OG from 2021, the
Yeah,
trader who would be betting on Trump to be president when
yeah.
Biden was president. All of the same ideas: QAnon, uh,
Mm,
thesis, XRP. He's an XRP holder. She loves zero interest rate. She's gonna fly in on a QAnon unicorn one day, right during the State of the Union, right? So all of this, all of these different ideas. This trader has been betting actively that Judy Shelton will be the next chair. Bye bye, Kevin. I mean, what are we doing here, man?
but these big accounts, they're also fucking shameless. Like they shill this shit, like this unusual whales, right? They just shill
Yeah.
this nonsense. I mean, it's good. I mean, it's good for us, right? We don't have any money anymore to bet on it, but it's essentially it's good for us. But yeah.
Gold. Oh yeah, the gold standard was another reason that she wants to return to the gold standard, which is, I mean, I don't, I'm not paid enough to understand it. I don't have enough shares at a good price to want to understand this stuff, right?
I mean, I could see it dip another what cent or two. I don't know how many. Like these people, the funny thing is that they will not take profit, right? They
Yeah.
will ride it to zero again because
And that's
if you look at
why, yeah, go
if
ahead.
you look at the traders, they're actually upright 15,
Yep,
20K like the top traders. So they
exactly.
could cash out a little bit of money here. Also because it's quite liquid. Yeah.
Judy Shelton, yes. I mean, the Polymarket
So,
doesn't really display it the best, but you do know that, yeah, the 2 cent averages. If they had net positions, it would be nice. But
yeah.
yeah, so like some of these top holders, so Donnie, let's see, Donnie, is he up? No, oh yeah, he's up 16K off his buys, right? He's net yes for Shelton,
Yeah.
and all of these other people, yeah, they're all net yes because they believe in it and they won't be selling. They believe it's worth 100 cents, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
This is the tweet that made me find this guy that Predem was saying how they added Judy Shelton to will she appear at the State of the Union next week, which is like, oh, it's a new meta. They added her because she's gonna happen. It pays out 25 times if he mentions her too. So Kalshi adds this strike, and the
Mm.
conspiracy is that, oh, she's gonna be mentioned, she's gonna be there. But Julia's had a great comeback saying they added retard as an option. Thoughts? So I helped. I tried to help Ray show him. Didn't work, but that was my support of his tweet there. Yeah, so Julius Rose is someone I'm keeping an eye on because Judy Shelton is Plan B 40 minutes ago. He will go down with Judy.
Yeah.
Hopefully next week if Domer is right. Do you have any ideas on timeline? Let's see.
Nah. I
Fed chair.
mm,
Wow.
no. Yeah. I think there was the nomination. I looked at it today. The nomination in March, I think, is still around 80, but it's starting to slowly disintegrate. Like February was also it started at 80 or above 80, and now it's at 20 or something. Um, yeah, I guess I don't know. Like at some point, the more interesting question, but these markets are very liquid. Are they going to drop the investigation into Powell or not?
Yeah.
This is
Yeah. So
actually a market which would be good
the
to
Powell.
sponsor. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
Yeah, so
like
this
the
one, so this was one of the barriers so last week with Gayton, we were talking about what are the barriers to the nomination, and it was, I think, Tillis who was saying how they won't support the nomination until Powell investigation is dropped, other things happen, right? So this is, I guess, one of them. Has anyone sponsored rewards? I don't think so. No, $3.
I
Yeah,
don't have a strong opinion on it, but that would be a good. Maybe I'll sponsor it like in a week or so after it expires, after they put up the next one, because for a week it's a bit stupid. For a month
yeah.
could be interesting.
Yeah, so for this is what the market resolves on, and it looks like before March is under 20. So we have 10 days, 8 days left, and not likely that it'll happen in the next week. I wonder what like these sharp positions are. Fed chair, if Polymarket shows it to us, we can see formally nominated. Yeah, so by the
Yeah.
end of the month, are these good liquidity? No, not really. Yeah, so Anoin and Domer, okay, powerhouse on yes here for February. It obviously could be arbing with Kalshi, right? A lot of these markets have been arbable, especially 27 cents versus 23. That's why,
Mm,
yeah, not it's
no
not bad
liquidity.
where you could buy 23 and buy no for 74. So there could be some arbs going on here. And I think Anoin is also a Kalshi trader. I know
Mm,
they joined recently, but based
okay.
on the trades, they definitely know Kalshi exists. That's for sure. I don't know where they're from. I think one of the ideas was that they're from Hungary. Was it some European
Okay,
country?
yeah.
Yeah,
Someone like when I asked around, I can't remember who said it. But someone snooped around and they were like sent this Hungarian Twitter account, and it would make sense. It's a person that if it's that guy, it's a person. It's not a random gambler. It's a long time
yeah,
crypto. I wouldn't say agent, like a crypto artist who he must have like nine figures or something, because if you can risk 5 mil on this Iran thing, if it's 5% of your portfolio, and probably
yeah,
5% might be high. So yeah.
yeah. So for Fed chair this week, maybe not. well, not this week. Next week, I just want it to happen. Like, I don't know. I
I
still have some more cash to put
Yeah,
in, but
I want to put some money somewhere else, into some other things. But yeah, now there's now there's like 100,000 in shares on the bid
yeah.
side. So maybe we won't it. Yeah,
How much
I
lower can
have
it go?
the
How,
next money I get is like from short-term Iran strikes, and then I
Mhm.
decide whether I keep this as optionality or whether I put it into more wars. We'll
If you
see.
were to do a if we were to do a high five on this, where does this market end up next week?
Next week, probably same. I'd say same.
94. Okay, interesting. Okay, let's move on to, I guess, a short topic, but a fun one is the aliens. So,
Yeah.
what is happening here? And is it a rules issue, or are aliens actually coming to the US and the world? Have you followed this
I
at
mean,
all?
yeah, I saw like what Obama said, but it was more like a joke, right? And then obviously
Yeah.
Um, Trump usually has a great sense of humor, but when it comes to Obama, he's becoming a bit stupid. Um, I don't know, like what his deal is. I don't know. Is it really a rules issue? I mean, there were some interesting prices traded, right? Below 80. Um, okay, interesting though. Don't worry. What was it in this
He,
too?
he sold he sold right before the tweet. Let's maybe insider.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. Someone asked me about it. Some non-Polymarket person asked me about it.
Mhm.
I said, yeah, it's. I said I wouldn't buy it because you don't know how long you have to hold it, because this is a market which is, like, which can get filled by retards. The people who buy Judy Shelton, they will easily
Yeah.
buy this market too.
Yeah.
And this market is more dangerous than Judy Shelton. So you might, if you buy here at what, 83, 84, how much upside do you get? Maybe it goes to 90.
Well, so
Not much
yeah,
more than
when
cents.
when the first pump happened before, yeah, this was the night
And
before.
about
So this was
10. So,
February 18th, the day before Trump tweeted. I
mm,
got a notification because someone had bought 150,000 shares of US to confirm and
mm,
pushed the market up pretty high, because then there were some more limit orders at 12, 13, 14. And I think I ended up buying in at 85 and 86,
mm,
thinking, okay, the price will reset back to 90 within a few days, or within a day, really. It'll go back down, and then I'll just sell, because it is a 2027 market. I don't want to be holding not 10, longer the days that 10% in a year are good, but in less than a year. But 10% in 10 months is not the best return on Polymarket. So I figured I'll just buy this and sell it pretty quickly. And then Trump tweets this and pushes the market up. So the phantom curse that so many people have talked about every day has happened again. And whoever
yeah.
bought at 85, you were not in the money, certainly last night, almost back in the money today, but I now have no chance to get out at even cost right now for the next little while. And then I start to get worried because of my position and other people, that actually the rules could make this turn into yes. I don't know how the Tylenol market resolved for autism, when it was, will RFK find a cure for autism? I forget how that one resolved, but the rules are made in such a way that an announcement of any kind, if
Mm,
if RFK says, oh, there is a link between autism and Tylenol, now that
mm,
market can resolve yes. Is it the same situation here? I'm not
mm.
sure, but it is something that you start to get scared about a little bit, especially when you're holding underwater shares against what we would call retards. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, like two things. Like one, I noticed this last year. For my personal threshold for buying like these retards or posing these retard markets. I mean, it's not a complete retard market, but it's very close to it. Is like below 75, like low 70s for end of year markets. So last year I had XRP and Solana a strategic reserve. There was when they pumped the altcoin reserve on a Sunday, and then I
Mhm.
bought just a ton of those shares. Yeah, basically that day or the next day, it was all low 70s, like low 70, around 75, both XRP and Solana.
Mhm.
Um, and I had to hold them pretty much until the end of the year. Like there was almost no, because you don't also want to really unwind because A, it's illiquid, and B, this is just so dumb. And there's actually checked it, like the US didn't have any of these coins, so even if they had announced it, it wouldn't have happened. So this is now my kind of mental threshold for these markets. That's why I don't want to get into this one, because yeah, it's not there. It's kind of like the Greenland partial acquisition or even full acquisition market that's similar to that.
Yes, that's true.
And the other one, like with how it resolves, yeah, someone mentioned like it could resolve to yes. I mean, the rules are they're very brief. It's just
They're
like definite.
vague.
Yeah,
They're
the definitive
vague.
states, right?
Yeah.
What does definitively states mean? I mean, someone could say, well, it would rather be a scientist who could say something like, I don't know, like bacteria on planet XYZ, right? But then that's not a member of cabinet or what Polymarket states there, federal agency. Yeah, I don't. It's not inconceivable to see like a mess with the rules, but I don't. It doesn't strike me as a major risk. I don't know. I would have to run this through an LLM. It's just I would more not buy it because of just the price is not. If I had like these 70 shares, which apparently were traded, those were
Yes.
good. Yeah, you can try to like bid that maybe here in the 80s. Look at Greenland, right? You just pull it up. Similar market. It's also like these markets they stay in the teens now. Partial acquisition is like high teens. I had this and I had to sell it now at around 82, 83, even though I did a lot of research on that.
Mhm.
My opinion, this cannot happen. But it could easily pump because you see this is a floor here. It will probably pump next time they come up with this will pump again. So
Yep.
I have to get out of it, even though I think it's value for no, I have to get out of it because yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't showing the screen share when I was talking about who my counterparty was, but yeah, this was the guy who bought 150,000 shares the day before the tweet, and I thought nothing of it. They pushed the price up to I think 80, up to 17 cents, and I was buying no there. But yeah, the phantom curse struck, and we are underwater on everything. I think I also have some Greenland shares, so if my history is any indication on what's going to happen, U.S. will acquire Greenland. They'll find aliens in Greenland, and then they will also strike Iran from Greenland. We'll do all of that all within the week. So we'll see what happens there. Unfortunate, but yeah, I think so. Definitive means something. What did Obama say about aliens?
I
Did
think
he
he said like it
say
exists, right? Like, is there alien
no
life? And
evidence? Okay.
but there was like the second thing, like he said, yeah, exactly. He said they're real, but he didn't
Mhm.
see there is no Area 51 or something.
They're
So it
real,
was
but I
more
haven't
a
seen them.
belief statement as opposed to in government I actually had something to do with it.
So this
Um,
wouldn't be enough. They're real, but I haven't seen them. They're
Not
real.
my opinion, no, but you never know
Yeah.
with humor.
Yeah. Oh, well, I'm thinking, okay, that autism market about will he find the cause for autism? So it did end up resolving. No, it looks like. I
Hmm,
don't know when that official announcement was. Yeah. So it went up
okay.
on the day of the announcement and then realized uh, it was at no point during today's speech did RFK announce that he or an affiliated team found the definite cause of autism.
Mhm.
Interesting. Because that is an interesting one that I would compare to because I remember watching that speech and maybe sure he didn't give definitive links in a way that would resolve the market. But I know that there are people who would have wanted it to resolve, just like the robo taxi market. I mean, always these rules disputes happen, but there are people who would have thought that those kinds of statement matter. And if it didn't, then I guess aliens is a bit safer in that sense,
Mm,
from
yeah,
from that kind of resolution.
yeah,
Interesting.
we'll
Okay,
see.
the next is just we'll wrap up in a little bit here, but I did want to talk about we talked about briefly the Polymarket reward sponsorship, and let's talk about that because now you can put rewards into markets. This is something that I had requested 3 years ago when Polymarket first launched rewards. And my idea was, okay, I'm a sharp in the music markets and I love trading those. I want to be able to add liquidity rewards in them. I can farm them myself and get some of that money back, but at least it will put the market on the front page at the top of the rewards page so that people see them, right? So that's an idea. I'm not logged in here, but you know that it does
Mhm.
exist. Yeah, you can add rewards to a market. And then that first day that it launched, what happened? It was this guy who said he added 70K to the Jesus market and he wants his money back. Let's see if I can find that tweet. Um,
Yeah, I
yeah,
saw
hello.
it.
I've accidentally added 70K in rewards to the Jesus market. Can anyone at Polymarket help? Thank you and God bless. So minute one of liquidity reward sponsorship, someone, probably not this guy, just chasing the engagement, but added $70,000 in rewards to um, the Jesus market and caused the market to go to some crazy numbers, because when you see that 70K gets added and there was no ability to cancel your rewards, right? It caused the market to spike because everyone wants to farm these rewards,
Mhm.
right? So were you online that day or no?
I actually was, yeah. I was in the airport because I had a flight. I saw that, and I saw like I saw interesting positions. Wow, like some people on yes, some people on no.
Yeah.
I think Domer had yes. He probably still has it. Yeah.
Well, you
There
have
were
A
also some.
News with a net position of 1.4
Yeah.
million.
I
So
wonder what their
uh,
end game is there.
I wonder
Interesting.
what the scam squad end game is
Yeah,
here.
yeah, yeah. What they're up to.
Well,
Um,
so on Easter's in it what, 30
yeah.
38 days. Easter's in a bit, so
Uh,
we'll find out
actually,
what A News has in store
that's a good
there.
point. Yeah, on Easter this will probably pump this because this is like a meme coin, right? So
Did it last year? 2025. I remember there was a meme about that oh, he just returned, but I don't think it's real. When was Easter
Easter was
2024?
April, sometime in April. Yeah,
April
April 20th.
20th. Okay, yeah, so
Yeah, a little bit.
oh,
Yeah.
okay, so it went up a little bit leading up to it, then back down because I guess it didn't happen. But it is
Now we're
just time
already
value of money, right?
above those 3.6, right? So now we're at what is it now? 4-ish or just around this.
Ah, 3.7.
So yeah, so it's pretty much that price. I guess plus then they put up a derivative market for that 100%. Um,
Yes.
so that's another incentive to to pump it. So yeah, this could if you hold it like meme coin, if you know how to get out of it, I guess you can hold yes. But I think Domer has higher price there. I think he has a
Well, no,
lower
the
price.
Jesus Christ market, this was for last week. And
Mhm.
if if Polymarket reward sponsorship happened the day before, because this was just one day after, if they had put it the day before, it would have completely changed the this market because it would have
Yeah.
resolved yes, because the
Mm,
market was above 5% for a solid amount of time. And it's
mm,
actually pretty insane that I don't know, no conspiracies, but I mean, in terms of timing something like this, that, oh, just the day after this market resolves, you do a reward
mm.
sponsorship. Someone somehow puts $35,000 a day and it gets paid out. And this Jesus derivative market still resolved no. And yeah, Domer did end up having a lot of shares, but I think someone had tagged him the day before, like, "Oh, are you planning anything? Can I copy trade you?" And I think he said, "Oh, he's just too busy with I don't know if it was Warsh or some other
Yeah,
market
that's what he always.
that it
Don't,
wasn't
don't
it wasn't."
don't trust him on that. He's always too busy for if you ask him about any market, he's always like, oh no, I always have a share. I always have shares. I don't even look at that market, but bro, like,
Yeah,
yeah,
sure.
I'm not sure that's true. But anyway, yeah, I think the feature. So just to mention about the feature, I think it's pretty cool. I would probably use it for some. I mentioned this a couple of times with like some geopolitics markets,
Yeah,
like with the nuclear deal, not right now maybe, but in general, like some of the geopolitics markets, I would like to sponsor them. So
yeah.
I think that's a rather cool feature. Yeah.
Yeah, the only problem is that so it doesn't, I don't know. Okay, yeah, so you can't add. Um, the problem is that, yeah, this Jesus market has apparently $870 in rewards, but I don't think the calculation is going correctly. I know since Claude Code came out and is apparently really good, Polymarket's been shipping a bunch of features, but it
Mm,
seems like
that's why. Okay, now I
mm,
get it.
But it
Okay,
seems
so
like yeah. So when the $70,000 in rewards came through and it was 35K a day, you couldn't see the market on the page,
uh,
on the rewards page, right? And that 8 p.m. Eastern, it did not get paid out correctly.
mm,
You only got paid for the, I think, the $40 that Polymarket had put in the market.
mm,
Um, then a day later, they just deposited funds into users' account. Instead of it showing as rewards, it showed as a deposit. So I think they
mm,
just distributed the rewards under their, I guess, back end calculation. And I
mm,
got like, what, $250, I think. Not much,
okay.
but it was, I really didn't pay any attention to it. I put my shares at like 2 cents and 95 so that I definitely wouldn't be touched. And it worked out. But yeah, so it doesn't look like it works well right now. So I'd like to see before I add any liquidity, because the reason I'm adding liquidity is to get on the front page, right?
Uh-huh.
That's I'm trying to uh, instigate some more views, right, on these markets, whether I talk about them on stream, right? There's different ways to get eyes on your markets, whether you're tweeting about them, posting about them, all of these different things, slop posting, but adding rewards it costs money, but it is a way to get it back, to get eyes on the market, and I would be market making them myself to
Mm.
get that money back. Why not, right? If I believe I have some sort of edge in a market, it's what I want to do. I mean, what kind of album sales markets do we have right now? Yeah. So if anyone wants
That's
some
actually,
picks, yeah, go ahead.
yeah, no, that's actually, now that you mentioned it, that's actually like an interesting thought, because that's really changes, maybe not for the better necessarily, but it changes news a little bit, right? Because if
Mhm.
you want to change, it changes also like this creator economy thing, which was a topic for a long time in crypto, and no one could
Yep.
really figure out how to do it. And this might actually be now a way, right? Because these rewards are essentially just the paid traffic. So what you're
Yep.
saying, you're describing paid traffic, right? You want to get traffic onto this market where you can hopefully then get some fish and farm them basically for money. So you will see where it goes. Yeah, I think it's interesting. What I don't like so much, or what I'm skeptical about, is this permissionless market.
Yes.
Um,
I was going to talk
on
about that as well. Yep.
Yeah, I am not sure that's a good idea.
Yes.
Because
I sent a screenshot to 50 pence the other day because this is like pretty good alpha. I figure like people should be watching this right now. But last year, um, Polymarket had launched a video for the election when they were
Mm,
doing their cool videos for the election. And at the end of their video, sorry, not last year, 2 years ago, 2 years ago, they had in the background of the video was this create your own market 25 miles coming soon.
mm,
Obviously, this was 2 years ago, so nothing's happened since. But they have been thinking about create your own markets for a while now. There was a beta program last year where they asked like 10 or 15 users. I don't know if you were one of them, where you were
uh,
able to, yeah, I think Domer, I was in there, where you could create a title for the market. An AI summary would be generated that you could edit, and then you would submit it, and
mhm,
Polymarket would review it and then put out the market themselves. And
mhm.
if it reached $1 million in volume, you would get like $1,000 kickback or something. So it was a lot. I mean, apparently it's still alive, but obviously they don't check it much because the way that Polymarket works is you do something and then they forget it
Yeah,
after a bit. I don't think I even have the page to create anymore. No, I don't see it anymore on my screen. But yeah, you that was the first idea of permissionless create your
yeah.
own market. And Polymarket's been thinking about it for a while, as you can see here. Maybe I'll post
Just
the full video one day because it's out there somewhere
yeah,
on
yeah.
their
They
TikTok
were
and
they
Twitter.
were waiting for AI to be good enough to be able to code that.
Exactly.
Um, I mean, the way you describe it, it's interesting if there's a gatekeeping mechanism, to not come up with bullshit
Hmm.
markets or
Hmm.
or harmful markets, right?
Yeah.
Um, so if the thing is, I don't really, not really, I don't trust Polymarket's gatekeeping at all.
Yep.
but yeah, you could have something like a, what's it called on Binance, like the alpha zone or something for like the worst shit coins. And then you have like the shit coins which graduated to normal shit coins. They get traded on Binance. So
Yeah,
this would be something, or Pump Fund, right? Pump Fund has the same thing. You have the
yeah,
coin on Pump Fund, and then you at some point you have enough liquidity, and then it's just a normal shit coin.
yeah.
So
So
something like that, yeah.
I'll show you
Put,
this actually. So this is what I see, and I don't know. This is top secret stuff here, but these are
Mhm.
some screenshots. So ask the future. You type a question, and you can see some samples that they show. But you ask a question, we'll type it out. What question do you have? Give me a topic, a market that you want,
uh,
Ivan.
um, no, you're good question. Um, I don't know. Let's whatever. Fucking. Will okay. Let's say. I'll pick something random. Will there be a? Will a black person be? No, sorry. Will a woman be president in the next two elections? Something like that.
Okay.
So, like over the next
Um,
two elections, will a woman be elected?
will a first-term female? Okay, let's ask this. Oh, okay. Well, this is not really working. Let's see. Will a woman be elected president okay,
Until
let's just
what?
do the 2028 election.
2032, 2032 would be. Yeah.
Let's do the 2028 election. So I'm just posting screenshots because I'm looking at my other browser right now, but it says refining your question. It looks like this might take a while and not even work because I think they've deprecated this
Okay.
feature, but this was a feature that was working for a little bit.
Hmm.
Doesn't look like it works anymore. Too bad. Demo over. It still says refining your question. So oh,
But
okay, it
okay, like I
works.
could
There we
come up
go.
with a good one, but like for business cases, this is potentially interesting, but you have to yeah, then you have to okay, there we go.
So this is what
Uh
the AI generated for me. Confirm description. Based on what you've asked, we've populated a description. Review it and make sure it reflects your intent. This woman, this resolves
yeah.
yes if a
Mhm.
woman wins a majority of electoral college votes. Otherwise, no. Resolution source: U.S. Congress. It auto populates a resolution source, and then it creates the market card for me. Sailor Moon asked, "Will a woman be
Yeah.
elected president in the 2028 U.S. election?" Pretty cool, no?
I mean, yeah, like potentially, okay, like in this way, if I'm a business, because that was just I couldn't think of anything, and I'm not a business person, but if you're a business, yeah, if you want to do market intelligence, this is potentially interesting, but then you have to be willing to pay for the actual intelligence. So your questions have to be good enough, which I guess with LLMs and the way they're developing is quite feasible. But you have to be willing to pay for it for someone, to pick it up. This is kind of like what was it called when you had in crypto, where when you bug bounties. That's what it was called. It's
Yeah,
kind of like a market intelligence bounty, right? You put
yeah,
it out and you say, okay, like we're sponsoring this with however much money, and if someone can give us, like good intel here,
yep.
yeah. I mean, yeah, potentially interesting. Like probably not nothing short term, but like longer term, if you do this operationally in the right way, which I'm not saying I know how to do this, but the idea, yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah, I
If
mean,
you don't do it as a gambling purpose, which I'm very doubtful Polymarket can pull it off. But maybe if you do it like if you introduce it via gambling, but then you also have something like more serious where banks can use it and then businesses can use it for market intelligence, then could be useful. Yeah.
yeah. Random people, maybe not, but others possibly. I mean, how high will Polymarket mindshare go? This was the original idea of create your own markets, right? Asked by
Mhm.
Cato.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
you were able to these were only like the influencers, the Twitter influencers could be sponsors of these markets. And I'm pretty sure it's not like Cato really asked this. There's some sort of partnership going on here, but this was the first iteration of a create your own market. The second one is what I just teased. That was from a couple months ago, and version three, which will probably be some sort of public version,
Mhm.
coming up whenever Mustafa wants to give it next week, 2 weeks, next week, is going to
15
be
days deadline.
real permissionless markets, right? These
Yeah.
rewards were one step towards it. and actually creating the market is the next one. But then
uh,
you obviously have the arguments of will A News be allowed to create a market? Because he shouldn't.
mm,
Will who will be allowed to create a market? Because obviously there are bad actors who shouldn't be privy to privy to this access, right?
uh,
Um, my idea 3 years ago was okay. There's a couple steps here. One, you have to put up the bond for the market. If the rules are screwed up, you lose that bond, like the UMA bond.
mm,
Um, and oh, that's pretty much it. And you have to sponsor rewards for it.
uh,
Those are my ideas. And the way the Polymarket does it, where you still have Heine or Basarum reading over the rules, is a is probably a necessary firewall to having just spray and pray. You know.
I mean, yeah, like in general, like with the way AI agents and the speed AI agents are developing at, this is potentially a good growth vertical and overall.
Mm.
Again, I wish I'm skeptical about how professional Polymarket can be about that, but I also want to give them some credit. After I think you saw it right last week after Shane. So sometimes he just reaches out to me in the
Um.
DMs, like, and
Yeah,
then yeah,
Ivan.
the next day
Ivan
we
was the reason.
yeah. No, I'm yeah, exactly, yeah. Because I'm on the high. I think it was my last tweet. I because I'm not really. No, it's like the very last tweet.
Did you
Uh,
delete it? What
that
did you
one.
do?
Yeah. Like the with the GIF with the Jack
Ah,
Nicholson GIF.
okay. There you go.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like
Uh,
for no reason whatsoever. I wasn't online. I wasn't tweeting. Oh no, actually, I replied to something. Right. I replied to something like Polymarket is broken, and everyone except for Polymarket knows it. And for some reason, he saw it. It was
yeah.
Vitalik. Right. That's how it was. Vitalik posted something about prediction markets, and I replied to it. And there were like 30 impressions, and Shane was one of them. And then he hit me up in the DMs. Um, and then one of the things I said was like, you guys, you never announce anything when you like bug fix something, or like we never know about anything that improves, right? Because
Yeah.
usually nothing really improves. And then for some reason they started. This wasn't the first thing, but something else was the first thing. They announced that, then they announced Substack,
Hmm.
then they announced this reward thing. Obviously,
Yeah.
partnerships they always announce. With this, they're not shy. But like all these actual things around the website, I mean, I give them. I hated quite a bit on them, but here I give them some credit. Now I hope they continue this, but like just keep on announcing things. Like we know the site is kind of vibe coded. I heard from devs, like actual devs, they're like, like a dubious site, very vibe coded. This is not like
Uh-oh.
Hyperliquid is like very professional. This is like very
Yeah.
vibe coded. But again,
Yeah.
okay, obviously, I guess there are many people who are working on this and trying to improve it. So just keep on doing that. Like I appreciate it, and I bet many people appreciate that. So
Communication is the best, and any way to get it is good, whether it be voicing your concerns on
yeah,
Twitter, right? So yeah, Primo, who's an amazing guy. He started making
yeah, he's
a
cool.
with an analytics channel for
Yeah.
Polymarket, third party, and then he got hired, and he's good on the data end of things. And yeah, he's the one that gave this announcement. Whether it was sparked because of you, who knows? But
I don't
uh,
know.
I'm
If it
happy to give
was,
you the
I'm
credit.
happy. I'm not going to take
I'll
credit.
give you the credit for
I'm
it.
happy they're
Exactly.
doing it. I hope they keep on doing it. Like, just keep doing it, guys. like they like the Trump administration. Like, look at the Trump administration, man. They announce some bullshit, even if they don't approve anything. They have like this long list of things they gotta accomplish. So yeah, just do the same thing, man.
All right.
Oh,
Anyways,
Canada.
I
Oh,
know I'm gonna just briefly live right now, Canada, Finland. I wonder what the price is. Why don't we check it on stand
well,
here? Canada, Finland, Kalshi. Okay, and I'll check Polymarket. 56 for 55 for Canada. I wonder what the shot count is. I'm a big believer in shot counts.
which third are they? I'm
So,
not following hockey that much, but I
well,
saw
this is
like you
semifinals, so
barely beat Czech Republic, right? So
Canada beat the
yeah,
Czech, yeah, in overtime, and the Czechs had like eight people on the ice during their
me too.
leading goal, their third goal when they were up 3-2. Let's see team statistics here.
Uh,
22 shots to 10. So it's not the biggest disparity, but it is still pretty big. Yeah, I would obviously bet Canada here at 50. I think I might. actually. So you'll see Sailor Moon by after this call.
So should I post this? Does the Phantom curse, does this
The
also
Phantom
apply?
Curse strikes his own country. Oh God.
Maybe. Maybe I should
Let's
put a
see
Finland
here.
then.
No, I can't do that, unfortunately. No chance. I think Canada US gold medal game. Well, pre-game, I told one of the guys in TNB, I said, "Hey, 70 cents for a parlay between Canada and US. That's the lock of the day." And now Canada leg alone is 50. So I've already cursed it.
80, so it was 80 before. But this is with overtime, this is like money line, right?
This is my line, so it includes overtime. Yeah. I think a minute to go in this period. I'll try to get in quickly after this call. Yeah, a minute left. So we'll see. Anyways, that's it for us, I think. Yeah. Thank you, Ivan, for
Cool.
coming on as well. We'll be back probably next week.
So
Probably
yeah.
not on Monday, us two, unless if something big happens with Iran this weekend, we'll come back. But otherwise, we'll be back again weekly, right? So
Yeah,
it'll be
yeah. I
fun.
guess next Friday, because that's where the deadline. That's where we're approaching the end of the deadline, and then we'll see.
Cool. All right. Thank you everyone for watching, and we'll catch you guys next week. See ya.
All right. Bye bye.